In this video I'm going to show you how to do the inset mosaic crochet technique. I'm using this one for my mosaic slipover and it gives a really nice mosaic with on the back, as you can see, there are some floats, so it's not as tight as the overlay mosaic. And I'm also going to explain how to make a nice border, as here you can see that you don't see my first stitch because it's just tucked away over here. You see the pink ones over here. So these are the first stitches of my mosaic and I'm just hiding them behind my my border. So I'm going to show you how to do this with another tiny design. So I made a really tiny inset mosaic crochet chart that I just made with some pencil, as you can see. It has a 5-stitch repeat, so which means that these 5 stitches are repeated over here, as you can see. The first row is this row over here. Every white box will be my main color, which will be green, and every colored or gray box over here will be my contrast color, which will be pink. So here and at the beginning, the first box is also the color in which we will be working this row, because not every row you will need both colors. So every other row you change colors. So with the first row we will start with main color, and for the second we will use the contrast color. And for this first row we only will be needing single crochets, because this first row is completely in main color. I already made a tiny base to make this on top of. These are just single crochets alternated with double crochets. So my last round is my single crochet round over here, and this is worked on the wrong side. So I'm just going to turn my work to the right side, and for my first row we will need main color, only single crochets. So I turn without making a turning chain, and I make my single crochet directly in my first stitch, like this. And I do this all the way to the end, and that is not my first row, because every row consists of an A and a B part. So in all my inset mosaic crochet charts I will also add in the A and B rows and how to read these charts. And I will explain right now, because this is my last single crochet. And this is my A round, so the A round is worked on the right side. The B round should be read from left to right. So we started here on the A round from right to left, and now we are going to do the B round, which is from left to right. So every row consists of an A and a B row, of which the A is worked on the right side and the B is on the wrong side. So I'm going to turn and again single crochet in every stitch until the end. Okay, I have finished my B round, which was on the wrong side, and now we are going to the second round, which is this. We have to start with this gray box, which indicates that this round is made with my contrast color. So for that, I'm first going to show you how to do the color change. So this is my contrast color. I've ended here on the wrong side with a single crochet, so I just have one loop on my hook. So I'm just going to take my contrast color. I'm going to pull this through the loop on my hook, and I'm going to pull my main color loop really tight. As you can see over here, like this, really tight. And now I only have my contrast color loop on my hook, and this is my color change for now. So what do we need to do for this round? So my first stitch is a single crochet, so every square means a single crochet. So it's the same as you saw here, these are all single crochets. So here, this square, there's nothing, no cross or no rounds indicated, so this is a single crochet. The next two squares are in the main color, so I need to skip these 2 stitches, and to skip them I need to make chains, and normally you would make maybe 1 chain per skipped stitch, but you want to have the nice stretch into your inset mosaic, so I'm going to make 1 more chain for every for the first skipped stitch. So the first skipped stitch I will make 2 chains, and for the second I will make 1 chain. Then we have 2 gray squares again, so 2 single crochets. Then we need to skip 3 stitches and make 4 chains. Then again 2 single crochets, then skipping 2 stitches with 3 chains, and my last stitch is always in the color that I'm working in, so this is a single crochet. So let's start. Contrast color, going to turn to my right side of the work. So I needed to start with a single crochet, like this. Now I needed to chain 3 and skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and single crochet into the next 2 stitches, like this. Now I need to chain 4 and skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next 2, and then chain 3, skipping 2, single crochet in my last stitch. Now we are going to do the B rounds, so we need to read the same chart but from left to right. And again, this is a single crochet, chain 3, 2 single crochets, chain 4, and again chain 2, single crochet 2, chain 3, single crochet. So let's do that. So I'm just going to turn and start with a single crochet. In the B round you're just going to do the same thing as what you encounter. So these are 3 chains. So I'm just going to chain 3 over here. Now I see 2 single crochets, so I'm going to do 2 single crochets, these were 4 chains, two single crochets, and the last part were 3 chains and 1 single crochet. So now you already see the floats, and we are going to make the next round with my main color again. So I'm just going to pick that one up, and I'm doing that from the back. I'm picking it up and taking it through the loop on my hook, and now I'm just going to tighten my contrast color like this, and make sure that over here you can see that this float is not really tight, because then you will squeeze your work. So this needs to be not too tight. So now we can start on the next round. So my next round is again in main color, and now we are going to do these crosses. So these crosses are drop down double crochets, and which means that we are going to make a double crochet over these skipped stitches over here, over these chains that we made in the previous round, and we make them into the 2 rounds below, so in these single crochets. Then we need, because we are working in main color and these boxes are gray, so these stitches eventually will be in my contrast color. So I need to skip 2 stitches and chain 3. Then we again have these drop down double crochets 3 times in these 3 stitches below. And then we are going to repeat, because this is my 5 stitch repeat. So again we are going to repeat this same and end with a single crochet. So let's see. Just going to keep it here so you can see it maybe a bit. Okay, turn to the right side of my work. So this is the right side. My first stitch, always a single crochet. Now we are encountering these floats and the 2 skipped stitches below. So I needed to make 2 drop down double crochets. So I'm just going to make a double crochet by yarning over. And now I'm going to insert from front to back into this skipped stitch 2 rounds below. And I'm working in front of my floats, in front of my chains of 2 rounds before. So I'm not going to, this is the thing that you might do wrong, that you want to pick up the yarn like this, but now you are enclosing the floats and you don't want to do that. So I'm just going to insert from front to back and then work in front of my floats. I will make a double crochet. And again, so I'm just going to like turn the previous round a bit to the back, and then I'm working into my skipped stitches with the 2 drop down double crochets. Then I needed to skip 2 stitches, and those are these 2 single crochets of the previous round, and for that I'm going to just chain 3 and skipping these 2 stitches. And again we are encountering these floats, and we need to make drop down double crochets in the skipped stitches. So I'm just going to fold these a little bit to the back and work my double crochets into my skipped stitches of 2 rounds below. Like this. And again we have the 2 single crochets that we need to skip, so chain 3 and end with 2 drop down double crochets, and my last stitch is again a single crochet to secure everything on sides. So now it looks like this, and you can almost fold this over to the front, so the floats are really not connected to this row. Now we need to do the B row. So we are working on row number 3, the B row. So from left to right, we're going to start with the single crochet again, but now the axes, these were drop down double crochets that we already worked in these 2 skipped stitches. So for the B round, you need to read the crosses as single crochets. So these are 2 single crochets we are going to make in the drop down double crochets of the A round. This is the same, so we again need to make a chain 3, skip 2, 3 single crochets, and again chain 3, skip 2, and 3 single crochets. And you will see this is the B round is just, take some yarn. The B round is really easy, as you just need to do what you encounter. So the first thing I see is a single crochet. And now I have 2 drop down double crochets, as you can see over here. So I need to make a single crochet in the drop down double crochet. And now I'm having the chains, so chain 3 and my drop down double crochets. I'm going to make single crochets in. Again, the chains, 1, 2, 3, and my drop downs, and my last single crochet. So that was the B round of my 3rd round. Again, we made some floats, and you see that here the floats are just loose from the main color. So again, we need to change color. So my contrast color I'm going to pick up from the back, so I'm not going to tangle it with my main color. I'm just going to pick up from where it comes from. So like this, pulling it through the loop on my hook, and I'm going to tighten the main color. And we can turn to the right side again to start with the next round in the A round. So we are with the 4th round. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, the gray contrast color. So for this round we start again with a single crochet, then we need to skip 1 stitch, for which we chain 2, then we have a single crochet again, and we now also see the crosses into the gray stitches. So these will be drop down double crochets crocheted in these skipped stitches over here. Then again a single crochet, and we need to skip 1, chain 2, and repeat this part. So this is my 5 stitch repeat, so I'm going to just repeat this again and end with a single crochet. So I needed to start with a single crochet, and I'm going to skip 1 stitch, so chain 2, and then this is the stitch that I'm going to skip, and I needed to make a single crochet, and now my drop down double crochets into the 2 skipped stitches in this color. So these are over here, and now I'm also need to work in front of these floats over here. So I'm just going to pull my hook like this, making a double crochet in front of my floats. And again, making sure that I'm working in front of my floats. And a single crochet. Need to skip one stitch, so chain 2 again, single crochet, 2 drop downs, one more single crochet, and I need to skip one, so chain 2 and a single crochet. So for the B round, I'm not going to show you the chart again because we can just look at what we did. So I'm just going to first take a bit of yarn. Yep. So we're going to turn to the wrong side of our work, and you see why I'm calling this the wrong side, because here you see all the floats of the skipped stitches. So what do we see? We have a single crochet over here. Then I have 2 chains, a single crochet, and these 2 are my drop downs. So in my drop downs I need to make single crochets and another single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, then again I have 2 drop downs in which we will make a single crochet, another single crochet, chain 2, and my last stitch again a single crochet. And again I'm going to change color like this. And we can continue with the next round. Main color next round, almost halfway. And I think you already see how we need to read this. So single crochet, drop down, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single crochets, chain 2, skip 1, drop down, and we will repeat this part once more and end with a single crochet. So I'm going to do this a little bit quicker now. Drop down, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single crochets, chain 2, skip 1, 1 drop down, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single crochets, chain 2, skip 1, and 1 more drop down, ending with a single crochet. Going to turn for the B round. Single crochet, 1 more single crochet in my drop down, chain 2, 2 single crochets, again chain 2, 1 single crochet in my drop down, chain 2, 2 single crochets, chain 2, single crochet in the drop down. So you see I don't even have to look at my chart for the B round, because it is the same as the A round, only not the drop downs, only single crochets. Again I need to change color. Going to tighten my main color again, and we can continue with the next rounds. So that's this one. single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, drop down, chain 3, skip 2, drop down, skipping 1 again, and repeating till the end until my last single crochet. So single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, drop down, chain 3, skipping 2, drop down, chain 2, drop down, chain 3, drop down, chain 2, and my last single crochet. Oh, sorry. Yep, like this. And now you already see a little bit of the, yeah, I think it looks quite well. So you see that here at the end you will always have the pink, green, pink, green. And that's one thing I don't like when you are finishing your blanket or your sweater, slipover, whatever that you are making and want to make a border on this. You don't want to see these pink stitches over here. So later on we will be adding a border so that you won't see these stitches. So for now I need to do the B round. I don't know if you really need to see all the other rows of this tiny swatch, but I am going to finish it and show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to continue like this. Ooh. Here again the chart of this swatch, and I'm going to continue until, let's see, this main color round. So I will see you back in a while and then I'm going to show you these last 2 rounds. Okay, see you there. So here I am back, and I only have 2 more rows to go, and you already see this design coming out very nice. So my last 2 rows, I'm now at this row with my contrast color, so I need to do the single crochet, the chain 3, skip 2, 2 drop downs, skip 3, chain 4, and again through the 2 drop downs, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet. So there we go, single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, then we have the 2 drop downs, chain 4, and again 2 drop downs, and chain 3, and my last stitch is the single crochet, the B round is single crochet, chain 3, 2 single crochets in my drop downs, as you can see here, 4 chains, and again 2 single crochets in my drop downs, and my last stitch is the single crochet. I'm going to change color again. And here on the side you see that I am switching colors. Every time, so only on this side, not on this side, and we don't have yarn ends to weave in. Okay, last row, and these are all single crochets or drop downs. So single crochet, 2 drop downs, 2 single crochets, 3 drop downs, 2 singles and 2 drop downs, and my last single. So the whole round should be in main color. So there we go. Single crochet, 2 drop down, work in front of my floats, 2 singles, 3 drop downs, 2 and my last 2 drop downs, and a single crochet. And for my B round it is all single crochets. And I'm done. So let's see. So these are my 2 squares, and when you look at the drawing you see that always with inset mosaic your picture, your drawing is always a bit like it's stretched, and that is because you're working 2 rounds for every round in your drawing. So this one looks more compact than your actual work. And now it's still a bit bumpy, as you can see, and your work will be much nicer when you block this. So really wet block your piece. So soak it in water for 30 minutes and then gently squeeze it, roll it in a towel, squeeze it again and let it air dry. And then I can show you the difference, that this is much more equal and soft. So it really makes a difference. I added a row of double crochets and single crochets. So now I'm going to show you how to prepare for the border. For my mosaic slipover we will start somewhere over here in one of the chains, but now I've ended here and I don't like to weave in ends, so we are going to start on this corner with making slip stitches in the top of every single crochet. So this is the preparation row, like this. So now we are going to do the sides, and we are going to insert in a way that we will not see, at least almost not see, these pink stitches. And important is that your gauge for this side is the same as for this part. So I found out that this works for me and for this yarn and for this gauge that I have for my Mosaic Slipover. It can be that for your specific project your gauge is a tiny bit different, and that you need to make more or less single slip stitches through the side of your work. But this works for me. So what I'm going to do is make one slip stitch for every single crochet round and one for every double crochet round in the base rounds just before the mosaic, so also over here. Then for the mosaic part, I have every round basically is 2 single crochet rounds. So what we see here is that this one round consists of a and a B round, so 2 single crochets, and this one as well. So we have 4 rounds. In every green round I'm going to make 2 slip stitches, and in every pink one I'm going to make 1 slip stitch. So let's start. I already ended with a slip stitch in the top of my single crochet, so therefore I'm going to just insert in between my double crochets for the next round, which is my first slip stitch. And now we are going to encounter the first mosaic rows. So this is my green mosaic row, which consists of 2 single crochets, so 2 rows. So I'm going to make 2 slip stitches in here. I'm going to do that over here. And I'm going to insert just before the pink over here. So 2 slip stitches. So now we are encountering the contrast color, and I'm going to insert my hook just right after the single crochet that you see over here. And I'm going to insert in between the 2 rows, and then you can see that the best at the back, because over here I'm just inserted in between the floats, as you can see. So in between my floats I'm going to make a slip stitch. And now I'm back at my green row of the mosaic, and I will be making again 2 slip stitches into the green. Just 1. It's maybe difficult to see. I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm just going to insert over here and over here just before my pink. Two slip stitches, and again just after the single crochet I'm going to insert my hook through the back in between the 2 floats. And make a slip stitch. Again in the green I make 2. And at the back in between the floats I'm just going to continue like this. And my last 2 of my green mosaic, and then I'm back at my base rows. So now I'm back at my base rows, and there is a single crochet row, double, single, double, so I need to make 4 slip stitches. So I'm going to insert over here, just above my double crochet row, then in between my 2 double crochets, and then I'm going to again insert into my single crochet and in between my double crochets like this. And now we are at the bottom. So here I have my first chain. I'm going to make my slip stitch, and this way I'm going to slip stitch all the way to the other side. And now we only have this last side left, and over here you can already see that we are hiding our pink stitches quite well. So here as well I'm going to first insert in between my 2 double crochets into my single crochet round and into my double crochet round. Now I'm encountering again 2 rounds of my mosaic, so I'm making 2 slip stitches into my green mosaic. Oh, I'm sorry, this one is not correct, because my second I will always insert just over here, just before my pink starts, and then again you're going to insert in between the floats. No, wait. And again 2 slip stitches into the green, 1 in between the floats. 2 slip stitches in the green and 1 in between the floats. No. In between the floats. And again my last 2 greens of the mosaic part, and then I only have 1 double crochet and 1 single crochet row left, and I'm going to insert in the same spot to end my round. So this is my last slip stitch. Over here is my first slip stitch. Now we can start with the border, and the border we will be making in the back loop of your slip stitch. So this is my slip stitch, and this is the front loop, and this is the back loop. So all the stitches will be made in the back loop. For this tiny piece I'm just going to do a half double crochet round, just to show you how the look will be. For my mosaic slipover I used a herringbone half double crochet, and that's explained by a different video, which you can find in the pattern of the mosaic slipover. But right now I'm just going to show you the half double crochet border. So I'm just going to chain 1, and I will stay on the right side. I'm going to make a half double crochet into the back loop of my first slip stitch, which is maybe a bit hard to find, but here we go. And as we are making a border, you have corners, and on the corners we are going to make one extra half double crochet. So I'm going to do that in my first slip stitch. And now I'm just going to make half double crochets in all my slip stitches, the back loops of my slip stitches. So now I'm almost at the corner, and this is maybe a bit difficult to see, but this is my last slip stitch before we turn to the other side, and to the side, not the top. So in this slip stitch I also am going to make 2 half double crochets, and now we're going to continue with the slip stitches on the side, and also only into the back loop. So let's see how this looks already. So for my mosaic slip over, I marked this second half double crochet over here, and over here it's your first half double crochet, that is the corner stitch. So these corner stitches are marked because in there you need to make 3 half double crochets when you make another round. But I'm not going to show that for this piece, just one round, to show that you can hide these pink side stitches that you always need to make for a mosaic project. So I'm just only going to finish this side so that I can show you how it looks now. And this, I think this really gives it a nice finish. And of course, feel free to do things different if you want to. This is just me showing how I do things. And I really like this slip stitch method because it just gives a really much nicer border in my opinion, at least, instead of making half double crochets into these stitches, because now you already see that over here you have this really a clear line. So I love that. So like this. I think over here on this corner I would make my second half double crochet in this same slip stitch as that I ended, and then go around the corner and continue like this. So let's stop right here and have a look. So it's not yet blocked, so blocked this will look even nicer. Now you can see that over here you don't see your pink stitches because they are at the back, hiding. So I hope this is clear. You can see that this works for me, and I also hope that it works for you. And you can use this in my Mosaic Slipover. This is where I use this same technique, but of course feel free to use this in your own designs or in your own projects to make a really nice finishing on your blanket or whatever that you're making with mosaic crochet. And of course feel free to use this, to use my chart, and have fun with this inset mosaic crochet technique. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.